title, we're covering the New York City mayoral primary for the Democratic Party specifically. We're covering a few other topics as well, as you can see in the description. And let me just pull up the primary results and see how they're doing so far. I haven't looked because I've been busy doing other stuff today. But primary for the Democrats are, of course, Zohran Mamdani and Andrew Cuomo. Now, I endorse Mamdani largely because he's not Andrew Cuomo. There's some things I disagree with him about here and there, but he has the best chance that we have of keeping Andrew Cuomo out of Gracie Mansion, which is the official New York City mayor's residence, essentially. Got a lot to go over today. Some other things we got going on. Obviously, we got the Israeli-Iran war coming to an apparent ceasefire. He literally dropped an F-bomb when talking to the press about it at a quick briefing before he went off to go to the NATO summit, I believe. I think that's something a little more local, not local to me, but like much smaller scale, and that is controversy regarding the Fisher's Fire District in the town of Victor in New York. So we'll be going over that later. So let's get the PC shot on real quick. All right. All right. So just hang on 1 second. It may have frozen up just a little bit. Just bear with me real quick. I got a lot going on here, so. So yeah, I've been cheering for Zohran Mamdani ever since, all this has been going on. Okay, here we go. What the hell? Okay. Alright, so there we go. Alright, we're good. We're good now. Okay. Now, look, I don't like Andrew Cuomo, not after, the stuff he did before he him to resign as governor, obviously, of New York. And that's why I'm rooting for Mamdani, because Mamdani has the best chance of keeping Cuomo out of the seat of mayor for New York City. Obviously, I do not live in New York City at all. I only visit down there, but I hope Mamdani gets it. Like I said, he's better than Cuomo. He was my first choice. My first choice probably would have been Brad Lander or Adrian Adams, honestly. But Mamdani wouldn't be a bad choice either. Sorry, I just thought I heard a siren in the background. Let me just take a look right here. Oh, okay. Oh, they got a call. Okay, there's one of the fire departments near me has a call. Not my department, another department next to us. As you can see here, obviously, a few noble New Yorkers have weighed in on the mayor's race. So Ilana Glazer, who is a stand-up comedian, she's big on Broadway. She's stuck between Zohran Mamdani and Brad Lander, and they got Floyd Abrams, who is a lawyer, and Floyd Abrams is going for Andrew Cuomo. I just want to comment on this. It's just like, he thinks he'd be a barrier to protect New York City from President Trump. It's just like, no, I don't really think so, honestly. Because Eric Adams has been a pretty poor barrier, and it feels like Andrew Cuomo is just going to continue a lot of what Eric Adams has been doing. Which, if that's the case, he's going to do a very piss poor job of shielding the city from President Trump, in my opinion. It's just like, no thanks. And as you can see, Nassim Ali Khani, who is a chef at a very famous Brooklyn restaurant named Sofrey. She ranked Zohran Mamdani first. Sonia Manzano ranked Brad Lander first. Fran Lebowitz ranked Scott Stringer first, actually. And Fran Lebowitz does not like Eric Adams, and actually called her a crook, as you can see here, which I agree with. Eric Adams is extremely corrupt, and oh my god. That's another thing, by the way. So, as you all know, it was a massive heat wave throughout the Northeast. I definitely felt it up here where I live. It was a very, very hot day. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a very, very hot day today when I was at work earlier in the day, and definitely made today interesting. I'll tell you that. Got some pictures right here. Vote here. Yep. Vote. There's Zohar Mamdani, by the way. For those who don't know what he looks like, as you can see, I say his campaign is really impressive. He went from being like a nobody in the race essentially to being second only to Andrew Cuomo. Honestly, you know. Apparently, his volunteers have knocked on 1.5 million doors throughout the city, which is I think almost like a seventh or sixth of the entire population of New York City. And his volunteers have contacted. And keep in mind, these are all volunteers. There's no paid. They're not paid campaign staffers. They're all volunteers who did that. Here's Andrew Cuomo, obviously. You know, don't rank Andrew Cuomo. If you still have time to vote, do not rank Andrew Cuomo. All right. Ooh, we got someone helping someone in to vote. You see, vote here. You know, English, Spanish, and Chinese. Staten Island, Manhattan. Or is that on the USS Intrepid? I think it's on the USS Intrepid. That's pretty cool. How many people can say that they got to vote on a fucking aircraft carrier? That's pretty cool. I'll tell you that right now. Some more pictures. Oh, that's cute. There's Brad Lander, by the way. I think one of the last previous broadcasts I had I featured a picture of Brad Lander getting manhandled and detained by ICE. And it's a picture of him not getting manhandled and detained by ICE. Obviously, it's a picture of him in much happier circumstances. You know, I like Brad Lander. I said he would have been my number one. Mamdani would have been my number two, and obviously Andrew Cuomo wouldn't have been ranked at all if I lived in New York City. Because fuck Andrew Cuomo. Adrienne Adams, who would have been my number three, honestly. She also was a pretty good candidate. This must be one of the Chinese neighborhoods in the city, obviously. I think they're playing mahjong there. Yeah, they're definitely playing mahjong. It just shows the diversity of the city, honestly, which is really good, especially in these times where the far right's increasing in power, unfortunately, and whatnot. These pictures are good. Some pretty good pictures, actually. So yeah, we have that going on. And the polls close at 9 p.m. I'll probably be on at 9 p.m. when the polls close, so we're going to see what happens. So if you're wondering what the whole ranking thing is like, so New York City, for the Democratic primaries only, utilizes ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting. For the mayorship, you have to rank your top 5 candidates. So how this is going to work is, if no candidate gets 50% in the first round, and they pretty much they've never done that ever since the Democratic Party has introduced ranked choice voting in the city for their primaries. If no candidate gets above 50% in the first round, what they do is they knock out the candidate with the least number of number one votes. Like the candidate who's ranked number one the least gets knocked out of the race, and all people that voted number one for him, all their number two choices get redistributed to all the other candidates, and that process repeats until a candidate has over 50%. Now the polls we're seeing show that Andrew Cuomo will either lead and win the race, unfortunately, or he'll lead the race until about the 6th or 7th round, at which point Mamdani will start leading, and if that's the case, Mamdani will win around the 7th or 8th round. We're hoping that latter one is the case. I don't want Andrew Cuomo to win. A lot of people don't want Andrew Cuomo to win. If you're listening to this, you probably do not want Andrew Cuomo to win. All right. And there's been indications that if Andrew Cuomo loses the primary, he'll run as an independent. There's also been indications, however, that if Zohar Mamdani loses the primary, he'll run as an independent too. He said, I have no skin in the game because I'm not a New York City resident. But I'd vote for Mamdani if he ran as an independent, honestly. Just because I don't like Andrew Cuomo or Eric Adams that much. Because Eric Adams is already running as an independent. He was in the Democratic primary, but he's not anymore. He dropped out and is trying to run as an independent. And let's just say we'll see how that goes for him. It's a bold strategy, Colin. Let's see how it plays out. So yeah, that's going on. Got some campaign trail photos, ranked choice. Let's see if there's a fucking. There's a paywall. God damn it. All right, never mind. Oh well. So yeah, that's going on at the New York City primary. We're gonna be keeping updates on that as the results come in. In the meantime, we're gonna shift gears and we're gonna talk about the Fishers Fire District actually. So the Fishers Fire District is a fire department in Victor, New York, and they're a combination department with paid and volunteer firefighters. They're mostly paid at this point. We do have some volunteers left that are pretty active. So recently, the fire district elected a new set of commissioners that none of them had first responder experience. Now they may be wondering like if that's a bad thing. It is a bad thing, but like I'm not saying that every commissioner has to have first responder experience. My own department has fire commissioners. We're volunteer, but we have commissioners. We've had commissioners without firefighting experience. We never had more than one or two, but we had some. And some of them were actually some of the best commissioners we ever had, actually. Now, that said, I don't think the whole commissioner board should be composed of people who don't have any experience as first responders. I think a slight majority of them, at a minimum, should have experience. So, with that context, what happened was the fire district commissioners have been trying to cut the budget. So the first thing they did is they limited the number of medical calls that Fishers Fire responds to. So, what's going on now is Victor is served by Victor Farmington Ambulance, which is a combination volunteer career ambulance service. And so Victor Fire and Farmington Fire, I don't believe they do EMS because Victor Fire only has paid staff during the day, and Farmington Fire is all volunteer. And Victor Farmington Ambulance is located like right in between the two districts, whereas Fishers, if you look at a map, actually I'll pull up a map right now. I'll pull up on Google Maps right now to give you guys some more context. Okay, so Fishers has two firehouses. Both have some paid staff 24/7. I think it's like 3 and 2. I think there's 3 at Station 1 and 2 at Station 2, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. Let me just pull up the PC shot again real quick, so I can give you guys a little more context as to what's going on in Fishers. Alright, there we go. So there's Fishers. I'm not sure if it's Station 1 or Station 2 for Fishers. So Fishers is this big area right here. Victor is here, and Farmington's right here. Victor Farmington Ambulance is, I believe, like roughly in this area. So Victor Farmington, I don't think they do EMS, or if they do EMS, it's much more limited. Fishers, up until about a week ago, went to all EMS calls in our district, because as you can see here, Fishers is pretty far away from Victor Farmington Ambulance. And unlike those two, yep, just as I suspected. Victor Farmington Ambulance is right over here. Fisher one station is over here, and I think one's over here, I believe. So yeah, Victor Farmington Ambulance is mostly volunteer, not completely, but they're mostly volunteer. And like, obviously, Fisher's gonna get there well before Victor Farmington Ambulance does, because even if they were still volunteer, they probably still would beat Victor Farmington Ambulance at the scene. Much less first responders, but they also provided ALS first responders. So Fishers Fire District commissioners decided to cut their response to Alpha and Bravo response medicals. So this area, like my area, uses Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo response to code medical calls. With Alpha doing CPR on someone, that's an Echo. That's generally an Echo. That's kind of the most serious call. Not in my area, unfortunately, but other places where the fire department may not do EMS. Oftentimes they'll make an exception and go to Echo response medicals because how serious they are. So Fisher stopped replying to Alpha and Bravos, and let me see if I can pull up the union post real quick. So the firefighters local. Okay, so what happened was I can get more details when I go to their Facebook page. So from what I understand, they had a guy whose legs were caught in a lawnmower and he suffered a head injury. It was coded as a Bravo response, even though the call was pretty serious, which means Fishers didn't go. Back to the window scene real quick. Take a look. Oh, that's another thing. Currently, the Fishers Fire Department doesn't have a chief. I'm not kidding. They haven't had a chief in 88 days, which I believe is, I think, since the beginning, not beginning of the year, but pretty close to it. So they've been running without a fire chief for almost 3 months, and then this starts happening. Yeah. Now, obviously, as you see in the comments, obviously, Fisher's the IFF, the labor union has emphasized that this is not an attack on Victor Farmington ambulance or dispatch. It's strictly an issue created by the fire district's commissioners. If the commissioners didn't do this stupid thing with removing Fisher's fire from Alpha and Bravos, this would not have happened. Victor Farmington ambulance and dispatch did their job. The Fisher's district commissioners failed to do their job. As you can see on the, if we go back here to the news articles, there were a lot of people that came to support the fire district, because not only are they doing this bullshit, they also want to dissolve the fire district, which means getting rid of the fire department and getting rid of all the paid staff. And the problem is Fisher's is about 1,100 calls a year, which is about 3 calls a day. Victor has only paid staff during the day, and Farmington has no paid staff. They'd have to absorb that, and even if you only absorb the fire call volume, Victor would probably get overloaded. Because as you can see, as you saw on the map, Fisher's covers part of an interstate highway, which leads to quite a bit of accidents, which in this area I believe are counted as fire calls. Even if Victor doesn't do EMS, they'd still go to most car accidents, which include any accident along that highway if Fisher's were to go away. And the problem is, Fisher's only has about 10 or so volunteers left. 27 paid staff, about 10 or so volunteers left. I only think like 1 or 2 are even interior qualified. So the volunteer base isn't there anymore, unfortunately, which sucks. So if the paid staff go away, Fisher's fire would effectively no longer exist. And the community does not want that. Except for these idiot commissioners. These idiot commissioners want this, apparently. Keep in mind, Fisher's covers 2/3 of the town of Victor, actually. They cover a pretty large area. The other third carried by Victor and Farmington. You can see here, obviously, the union was barred from speaking at the fire district meeting tonight, which is just insane. So these are literally their paid firefighters and their primary responders at this point. And they were denied a chance to speak at the fire district meeting where they were trying to figure out their fate. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. There's no reason for this. And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now, these commissioners need to get voted out of office. Next time they're up for election, kick every single one of these commissioners out. All right. Kick these commissioners out and make them pay. You know, legally, obviously. Legally make them pay for this insanity. And if you live in the area, support the Fisher's Fire District, please. Support these guys. Support the paid staff. Support the volunteers that are still there. And support them against their commissioners who obviously don't want to give them the support they need. Because if they don't get the support they need, they're not going to be there anymore. So that's that with Fisher's. Now let's talk about Israel and Iran. Everyone's favorite, everyone's favorite states in the Middle East. Yeah, everyone tweeted out that, hey, there's going to be a ceasefire. I'm going to make a ceasefire happen. And then what happened was Israel and Iran violated said ceasefire. And now Trump says they don't know what the fuck they're doing. He literally said that verbatim to reporters outside before catching a helicopter to go over to the Netherlands for the NATO summit. So at this point, the U.S. involvement in the war is probably over. It's probably over at this point. Trump appears to not want to get involved anymore. And Trump has openly said that he doesn't want to seek regime change in Iran anymore. He says he doesn't want to see chaos. And in a rare moment, Trump says he's actually unhappy with Israel. I'm starting to feel like Trump. This is just me speaking. I'm starting to feel like Trump is starting to realize that Netanyahu is an asshole. Because if you ask any other president before Trump, both first and second term, they'll all tell you the same thing. Benjamin Netanyahu is an asshole. I mean, Bill Clinton literally said, "Who the fuck does he think he?" In the '90s, and even Joe Biden called Netanyahu an asshole. And he called him a fucking asshole at the time. Then I'm starting to think, maybe this Netanyahu guy isn't quite the nicest guy out there. I mean, besides all the bombings and the corruption and the genocide and the war and whatnot. But yeah, I'm starting to think this Netanyahu guy isn't the nicest person, possibly. Just maybe. Now, something that's really concerning, that's really, really concerning to me, is that apparently Democrats are furious because Trump abruptly canceled a pair of classified briefings that were scheduled for this Tuesday, today. And apparently, only members of the House GOP leadership got a classified briefing. No Democrats got it. The rest of Congress didn't get it. And of course, most Republicans are downplaying this, even though this is extremely concerning. Trump is once again following the fascist playbook. He's denying the opposition information that they need to know to properly govern. As you can see here, obviously Democrats are pissed off. Most Republicans are downplaying that Democrats are pissed off over something that should be happening. Except for Thomas Massie. I gotta say, I don't agree with him in a lot of things, but he's really impressed me over this last month. He's called the attacks for being unconstitutional. And he's also not happy with this. He's saying that there's been no information given out to all Congress. And as you can see here, Leslie Shedd, who used to be a House Foreign Affairs Committee Republican aide, the lack of intelligence going to Capitol Hill is actually part of a larger trend. And they said that recent administrations on both sides of the aisle have been hesitant to share too much information with Congress, even with people in their own party. Between social media and the 24-hour news cycle, the more members who know something interesting, the more likely it is to leak out. Which, I understand. Obviously, these days, shit likes to leak out pretty quickly, which is not good. And in some cases, it can be extremely fucking dangerous. People can get killed. But, it's a little telling that Trump is only doing this with Republican leadership in the House, and he's not doing it with Democratic leadership in the House. That's concerning. That's very concerning to me. It feels like it's following the fascist playbook, which is not great. Just one moment. God, it's so fucking hot. I have 3 things of water, either on my computer desk or on a dresser near my computer desk for my recently rearranged room. That's how fucking hot it is up here. Records have been broken during the daytime, obviously. And, yeah, that's what's going on with that. Of course, obviously, in Gaza, Israel has shown no signs of slowing down or stopping or even slowing down, obviously. And if everything going on between Iran and Israel, Gaza's kind of going to the wayside along with the Israeli hostages and whatnot, and also going to the wayside. So ever since the war with Iran began on the 13th of this month, roughly 860 people have been killed in Gaza by Israeli fire, specifically. Now, the Hostages Missing Families Forum is a group within Israel that calls for an end to the war. They call for a ceasefire, and they want a hostage deal. They call for the ceasefire to be expanded to include Gaza. So there's roughly about 50 hostages remaining in Gaza, about 20 of whom are believed to still be alive. And yet every day that this war goes on, not only does the genocide continue, but the chances of those 20 who are still alive being rescued keeps going down. Like I said before, Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government don't give a fuck about the hostages. They only want to kill Gazans. They will let all the hostages die if it means more people in Gaza get to be killed by the IDF. And it's disgusting. It's sick. obviously the whole genocide thing, obviously the whole genocide and war thing, that in itself is sick. But the fact he's willing to use not only Palestinians as targets, but he's willing to also use his fellow Israelis as pawns to do this stuff is even worse. It's absolutely, it sickens me. It genuinely sickens me. As you can see here, now Trump said that the attack destroyed Iran's ability to build a nuclear weapon. That, of course, is bullshit. It did not destroy their ability to build nuclear weapons. They have backups. They have backup plans. Now, that said, it did delay it by about roughly 6 months, according to a report I read. Oh, here we go. Okay. That's from an earlier U.S. Intelligence assessment. So, despite what Trump claims, it did not strike the core components of Iran's nuclear program. It likely only set it back by months. Trump said that it set it back by years or even destroyed it completely. Once again, he's lying. He lied again. He probably knew the truth and said anyway, or if he didn't know the truth, he ran his mouth before he knew the truth, and since he found the truth, he's just sticking with the lie he told in the beginning. Either way is fucked up. This is the aftermath of an Israeli strike in northern Iran. They killed like 16 people, according to Iranian state government affiliated media, obviously. So just take it with a grain of salt, because Iranian state media is a little unreliable for obvious reasons, right? Just because we don't like Israel doing Israel things on this live stream doesn't mean that we support Iran. Let me tell you right now, fuck the Ayatollah, fuck the Islamic Republic, okay? I hope that one day the Iranian people rise up and overthrow them and, throw the Ayatollah in prison or just kill him. If they throw him in prison or they kill him, then either one is fine. The Islamic Republic is terrible, alright? And, people they're now, like, uncritically supporting them just because Israel is fighting them are insane. Right? We're not doing that here. We're not supporting either side in this shit. Okay? We support the civilians. Palestinian civilians, Israeli civilians, Iranian civilians. Okay, we're not supporting the governments on either side because both of them fucking suck. I don't like either of them. And that's the truth. And this podcast is probably not for you. If you do like either government, this live stream and this channel probably is not for you and should not be for you. They want to talk to Iran soon. Netanyahu thanked Trump. Obviously, nothing too new down there. So far it seems the ceasefire is preparing to hold. So let's hope the ceasefire remains in place. The last thing we need is this war restarting. Because, oh my god. The last thing we need is this war restarting. Alright, we don't want the war to restart. At all. Alright, it's now 12 minutes to 9. 12 minutes till polls close in New York City. We're going to stay in the air. And in the meantime, we're going to keep talking and just maybe play some games here and there. Possibly. I don't know. Anyway. So on a personal note, I went to Albany Anime Fest this Sunday. First time it was ever hosted. It was hosted at the DoubleTree Crown Plaza Hotel. Let me just get some water real quick. The DoubleTree Crown Plaza Hotel. Your Albany International, who sang the songs in the original Deke Dub of Sailor Moon. Got an autograph from her. She's pretty cool. And I tell you what, she can still sing those songs. She is thinking in her 50s now. She can still belt out those songs pretty good. She hosted a little contest and a little get together afterwards. And then afterwards, me and a couple of friends went to a buffet place nearby. I had some pretty good food. The only problem was, since this was a first-year con, it didn't really have a ban list, which led to an issue with a person who's been notorious around the area up here in upstate New York, who's been banned from multiple cons because their They're a bit of a creep. Actually, not a bit of a creep. They're big ported. And they fled, and the owners know about them now. So if this Albany Anime Fest happens again next year, which I think it will, around the same time, there will be a ban list, and he'll probably be on it, which is good. He should not be in this convention space at all. He's creepy. So that was an issue. That was a big issue. But some stuff happened where they were being a creep towards some people, unfortunately. But thankfully, nothing too crazy happened. It's gonna get dealt with. That's what I can say. It's gonna get dealt with, which is good. What really fascinates me is that these Anime Fest things happen in multiple locations. Actually, happen at multiple locations. Let me see if I can pull. Oh, it's Our Cons. Okay, so there's this company called Our Cons. And Our Cons, essentially, they run conventions they start small one-day conventions in areas that don't really have a big convention space. Let's see if I can pull up the website right here real quick. They host 4 different types of conventions: a pop culture convention, anime fest, horror fest, and Pokefest, which is a Pokemon specific convention. So they host a Syracuse Anime Fest, Albany Anime Fest, and a Utica Anime Fest within my general area. I've been to Utica and Albany. And they're kind of smaller events, but they get the job done. They get the job done for their area. But it's such an odd concept. Actually, let's see if we can pull it up now. This is the Our Cons website. I don't know where that was taken. It wasn't taken near me. You sell out quickly. So as you can see, they're hosted in a shit ton of locations. This is the one I went to, by the way, right here. Shit ton of locations. So you have the pop culture events, Anime Fest, Anime Fest, Anime Fest, Anime Fest, Anime Fest, pop culture event, Fest, Pokefest, there's Horror Fest here. So I feel like what this thing is doing is essentially they're going to these areas that don't really have a big convention scene, and they're offering it to them essentially. I remember talking to someone about it, and they said that it feels like the McDonaldization of cons essentially. I hate to say it, but it does. I think actually I said it first, and they agreed with me. And it really does feel like the McDonaldization of cons. It's like these people are basically going around like. So I believe what happens is the guy who runs the whole thing, he'll go the very first year the event is held. Like he'll go there and personally supervise it. And if it's successful, the following year after that, he'll pass it on to someone local that he works with. It's kind of like franchising a little bit in a way. He's essentially franchising out conventions, essentially. He's giving them the basic details they need, and they go around and host it themselves. Book your space. I believe that's for like people who are trying to set up a booth there. My friends, like my one friend who Frederick's cosplay, FRDRX cosplay, who she and this is Paz, P-A-Z. They both hosted the cosplay contest at Albany Anime Fest, and they also hosted it at Utica Anime Fest. And they're both pretty good. Look them up on Instagram if you can. They're both very good cosplayers. And they're both super friendly too. And so that's the general gist of it. Essentially, is a shit ton of events going on. Huh. I might be in Florida when this thing is going on. Possibly. I'll have to look at that. That's, it'd be kind of weird to go have a horror fest after Halloween. Okay, this is not after Halloween, but I mean November 1st, I'll give him a pass. But anything after that, that'd be a little weird, honestly. As you can see, they have a video game show. Oh, that wasn't advertised, but okay. It wasn't advertised up there, but okay. For con. Nice. See, it's mostly Anime Fest, obviously, because anime is the big thing these days. if you go to New York Comic Con, for example, like 50% of the shit at New York Comic Con is actually anime related stuff now. Even though there's anime NYC, there's already anime specific con. There's so much these days of how popular it is that even the generic conventions are becoming like even like almost like 50% anime related now, which just shows the staying power of anime. Honestly, contact information. Let's see here. Oh, not much. So there's not really too much to it. I believe like each each of these has their own website actually. Let's see if I can find the Albany one real quick. No, I think the Albany one's already down. But let's go to the Rochester one. So each of these has their own website with more information about the specific convention. Book event table here, artist alley table there. See, not too much information. Cosplay contest, Oh, Phil. Oh, that's funny. Phil Parsons was at mine too, actually. Phil Parsons is pretty cool, by the way. Nice. I won't be able to go to this because I got a family thing going on that day, but yeah, if you're going to this, have fun. I'm not saying these things aren't bad, or these things are evil or whatever. They're not evil. It's such an odd concept to me, considering how conventions were like, generally pretty local, run locally. They weren't like kind of franchised out like this. I mean, I get it though. I mean, without these areas, without these, some of these places, I wouldn't have conventions. Period. I mean, like some of these places are pretty small. There's one that's disappeared now. Let's see if it's actually here. Albany. Oh, like Dothan, Alabama. What's Dothan? Apparently the 7th largest city in Alabama. Have heard about it until now? Nope. There was an anime fest in Dothan. Now there's probably going to be a PokeCon in Dothan as well, all because of these guys. So yeah, I mean, some of the places don't really have big local conventions of their own, so our cons comes in and offers it for them, which is good. Obviously, but it's just again the content is so fucking weird from someone who's been going to conventions since 2017. I mean, I probably should have gone to conventions earlier. I wish I did go to conventions earlier, but it just wasn't in the cards, I guess. But I'm glad I went to them when I did eventually in 2017. My first one was Electric City Comic Con, which is coming back this year. It's a very small free con at the Schenectady County Public Library in Schenectady, New York. I'll go back to it this year, I believe. I think I will. Hopefully I'm able to, because I like to go back to my first con and to see how it is now. You get a little nostalgia going, My first big con was GeneriCon, which unfortunately no longer exists. It was at RPI campus in Troy. I think I've talked about it on this show before, but yeah, it sucks that it no longer exists. That was fun. That con was fun. Unlike Saratoga Comic Con, it would have had the space to accommodate cons fucking exploding popularity ever since the pandemic lockdowns ended. So yeah, that's going on. All right, 2 minutes to 9. We'll go back to the. We'll go back to the election results because it's only 2 minutes now till the Democratic primary results for New York City. Motherfucker. Let's go to CBS News because unlike New York, like New York Times, they are not fucking paywalled. Okay. Alright, we'll, just take this ad blocker off real quick, because the ad blocker is just whatever. Okay. Let's go here. Window scene. This is pretty good, actually. Almost 1 million New Yorkers have checked in to vote as of 7:30 p.m. today. It's probably over 1 million now at this point, and which is good. It's like I said, it's an eighth in New York City that came in to vote. It's not an eighth of the registered voters in the city. That's an eighth of the entire city, including people who aren't registered to vote and people who can't vote because like they're too young or whatever. So it's, among registered voters, that number is even higher, which is good. I like to see greater turnout for elections and whatnot. No matter who wins, high turnout for elections is good. Whether my side wins or the other side wins or no, or the side that's regardless of which party or candidate wins, high turnout and their participation in democracy is always a good thing. It is always a good thing. So it is now 9 o'clock, and we're gonna see what's going on. The polls have officially closed. Oh, and Green Island, New York apparently has a structure fire, which is a small little village near me. Let's see. I wonder if it's a signal 30, which is signal 30 in Albany County is their signal for a working fire. So this is a big thing. So New York City won't know the primary results until at least July 1st. Because, like I said, the ranked choice process takes a little bit long. And God damn it, yes, I'll turn off my ad blocker, USA Today. Okay, Jesus. Okay, so it's 9:01 now, and I'll get the results as soon as ad blocker as soon as USA Today stops being a bitch. Okay, let's go. So this ranked choice voting system has been in place since 2021. It's given some pretty good results, honestly. I think it should be implemented nationwide. It absolutely should be implemented nationwide. As a matter of, like I said, it'll take a while. It took Eric Adams a few days to know that he would become the Democratic nominee. He beat Catherine Garcia, who got pretty close to defeating him, actually, at one point. So the most recent poll here actually shows that Mamdani could beat Cuomo 52-48 in the 8th round of the instant runoff. And hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. So there's Andrew Cuomo, there's Zora Mamdani. I don't know who is who here. I don't know if it's Whitney Tilson or that's Whitney Tilson, or I don't know if that's Michael Blake or that's Michael Blake. But most important candidates right now are obviously Cuomo and Mamdani. And if Mamdani is ahead in first place, he's likely to win, and he still has a good shot if he's only losing by about 5%. Whereas on the other hand, Cuomo is safe and he's going to win if he's winning first place by about 10% or more. Let's see what the. Come on. Come on, is it that hard to find live results? I mean, Jesus. We'll try New York Times again, see if it gets paywalled. Yep, it's fucking paywalled. Oh well, I mean, from what you're able to see. Yep, it's fucking paywalled. My apologies for this. Like I said, New York Times is paywall, which is bullshit. But yeah. I don't want to go to New York Post because not the New York Post. Ew. Come on, let's see if Fox 5 New York has any live results. You can see here Curtis Silva, who ran on the GOP for the mayorship. He ran uncontested, as usual. And you can see here the results. Okay, here we go. 30% of the votes in. Zahra Mamdani is leading by 43.1%. Andrew Cuomo is leading by 34%. Brad Lander has 13.3%. Anthony Adams has 4.4%. Scott Stringer has 2.0%. Look at the further results. Zelna Marie has 1.1. Whitney Tilson 0.9. Jessica Ramos 0.4. Michael Blake 0.3. Total write-ins have 0.1. Paperboy Prince has 0.1. And Selma Bartholomew has 0.1. Curtis Silva ran unopposed, so obviously he wins by default. And here we are for the New York City Comptroller. Mark Levine's leading with 49.1%. Justin Brandon with 36.3%. Ismael Perez with 7.8%. Kevin Parker was 6.4%. And total write-ins is 0.3%. You see Mark Levine or Mark Levine, I don't know which one it is. He's almost at 50%. If he gets 50% in this round, there will be no more runoff. He wins. You have Peter Kefalas, 61.6. Daniel Mayo, 33.5. Total write-ins with 5.0 for the GOP primary for the comptroller. If Peter Kefalas maintains that, he wins the primary. He'll win the primary in the very first round. Public Advocate. Here we go for the Public Advocate. Juman Williams, right here, 73.1%, 40% of votes counted. Honestly, at this point, Juman Williams has pretty much won the Democratic primary at this point for the Public Advocate position. Gonzalo Duran ran for the position unopposed in GOP primary, so he gets it. Over here for the District Attorney for Manhattan, Alvin Bragg is leading with 76.3%, 37% of the votes counted. Patrick Timmons, 23.7%. Alvin Bragg has pretty much won it. Maud Marin is running for Manhattan District Attorney unopposed. In the GOP primary. Eric Gonzalez ran for the Brooklyn District Attorney unopposed in Dem primary. And no one ran for the Cease GOP primary, which, I mean, I get it, it's going to go with the Democrats anyway, but I disagree with that. I believe every seat should be contested, in my opinion. Every seat should be contested. There's no excuse for it. Because the thing is, obviously, then Rudy Giuliani won it for 2 terms. Obviously, he's not the best example because Rudy Giuliani is, well, Rudy Giuliani, but it's an example. Obviously, you never know. You never know. So anything can happen. So that's why you always run candidates. You never let an election go unopposed. Ever. Here's the borough president results. Obviously, Brad Holman Siegel leading with 53.3%, so it's still too close to call. Only 39% of the vote is in. Antonio Reynoso leading with 80.6%. He's won the Democratic primary. Susan Adams running unopposed GOP primary for Manhattan. Janina Aquafreda is running for Brooklyn Borough President unopposed in the GOP primary as well. Grace Marrero is also running unopposed. Cancer with Queen in Staten Island running unopposed in both party primaries. For the Bronx, Vanessa Gibson ran in the Democratic primary, and she's won at this point with 72.4% of the vote. So obviously there is no more rounds for this election. Here are the city council results. Christopher Mart, I don't know if it's Marte or Mart, for District 1. This is very close, so it might go to ranked choice voting at this point. In District 2, Harvey Epstein. I don't want to make a joke. I don't want to make a joke. Oh my god. Harvey Epstein is winning with 42.3% of the vote, and that is a real name that I actually had to say on this live stream. Harvey Epstein. Oh my god, Anthony Weiner. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh my god. This I swear this is the most cursed. This is the most cursed primary list I've ever seen. We got a dude named Harvey Epstein running against Anthony Weiner. If you don't know who Anthony Weiner is, yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, remember that? Remember that shit from 14 years ago when he had to resign because he was playing around as Carlos Danger. Yes, Carlos Danger. So what happened is that he was sexting people, apparently also including a teenage girl, by the way, and he called himself Carlos Danger. I'm not kidding. Oh my God! He did it multiple times apparently. And unfortunately, his bullshit might have also led to Hillary Clinton losing the 2016 election because one of those emails was related to Hillary's email controversy. So he might be the reason that we're dealing with Trump right now. So fuck you, Anthony Weiner. So what happened was the problem was he allegedly sexted a 15-year-old girl, which is disgusting, obviously. Ew. Unless you yourself are also 15 years old, in which case, teenagers will be teenagers amongst themselves only. But if you're an adult doing that shit, go fuck yourself. Obviously, that's fucking disgusting. But yeah. Here's Harvey Epstein. Harvey Epstein. Okay. Apparently he takes it in good faith. So there was a sketch where SNL said that, or John Mulaney played Harvey Epstein, and it said that he's not related to Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein. And Harvey Epstein apparently watches SNL and thought it was really funny. And you know what the heartwarming thing is about it? He told people to support RAINN, which is the Rape Abuse Incest National Network, which supports survivors of sexual abuse, which is good. You absolutely should donate to them. They're very good. They're very good at what they do. I'm glad he made it heartwarming and wholesome. I guess by telling readers to support support RAINN, which you should. Like I said, you should. Yeah. But still, it's just, oh my God. Like I said, this is just this is the most. I gotta take a picture of this. Hang on. Oh my God. I'm sending it to my friend. Oh my God. Let's moving on. Eric Botcher, he's pretty much won his primary. He's pretty much won his primary for District 3. District 4 is holy shit. District 4 sent. Look, District 4 is extremely close between Virginia Maloney, Rachel Storch, and Vanessa Aronson. This look at it, the top 3 are all women, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool actually. But anyway, this one's probably gonna go multiple rounds for sure. District 5 this one's probably in the bag. This one's pretty close, but Elsie and Encarnacion could probably win it. District 10, Carmen De La Rosa, she's got it in the bag. Eric Dinowitz got it in the bag for District 11. District 12, Pierina Sanchez, and she's probably got it in the bag, but only 23% in, so you don't know. District 16, Althea Stevens pretty much got it in the bag. Justin Sanchez, as you can see here for District 17, relatively close, so we don't know for sure. Benjamin Cho, this point, pretty much got it in the bag, 42% and 66% of the vote. He's pretty much got it in the bag. Chanel Thomas Henry, pretty close, 27% of the vote in for District 21 in Queens. We don't know who's gonna get it for that one. Shikar Krishnan pretty much got it in the bag for District 25. District 28. What the fuck happened to... Oh, whatever. Okay. Maybe Hankerson, whatever the name is. He might have this, 4.8% of the vote in with 33% votes counting. It'll probably go to multiple rounds, but he's probably got it. District 30 is very close. All these candidates have roughly around a third of the vote, so this probably go multiple. District 33, Lincoln Wrestler got it in the bag. District 35, oh yeah, Crystal Hudson definitely got it in the bag with this much. These other guys have no fucking chance. 36% Chias. I don't know how you pronounce Chiase. I think I don't know how you pronounce it. Whoever they are, they got it in the back. So congratulations. I wish I knew how you pronounce your name, but congratulations, you won the primary probably. Alexa Avila's, they got it in the bag. Shahana Hanif, yeah, she's got it in the bag with District 39. District 41, Darlene Mealy. It's pretty close. You never know, but she's probably got it. Mercedes Narcisse. Oh yeah, she's got it in the bag with that much of the vote with that much. Oh yeah, 100%. District 48 GOP primary. I guess there wasn't a primary for District 48 Democrats. I guess. Ina Vernikov. Yeah, she's got it in the bag. Brighton Beach. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of Russian. There's a lot of Russians and Ukrainians and the one that live in this area, so they're having a Russian guy in the bag for Staten Island. District 51 for the GOP primary. Frank Morano. Yep, he's got it in the bag. As you can see here, so these missing districts probably don't have any or you have no primaries because they're running on a post. There's no point at this point. Let's see if we can refresh the page. And check the results at the top again. Okay. Elections. Alright, 40% of the vote in. Zara Mamdani is still leading. Alright, 43.1% of the vote. Andrew Cuomo at 34.5%. Bradley Ayer at 12.9%. This is a really good sign actually. Although obviously you never know because we saw similar thing with Kamala Harris in November 5th. And we all know how that ended, unfortunately. But, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm just promoting it right now. I'm telling them about, the Harvey Epstein thing. No, that is, like I said, that is a fucking cursed primary. That is fucking cursed. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yeah. This is what we're dealing with. Wait, I don't know who's Paperboy Prince anyway. I'm kind of interested in who this guy is. my one friend texted. She just texted me, "Stop the steal!" With 40% of the vote, Zora Mamdani up top. Oh, okay. So that's who they are. They're a perennial candidate, essentially. Okay, I see. No, that's nice. They must be I wonder if are they non-binary? Yeah, they're non-binary, which is good. All right, that's good. They prefer they, them, or the neo-pronouns God and Goddess. God and God self. Goddess self. I guess. Alright, not bad. Alright, so this is who they're... Oh, wow, Paperboy Prince lasted three whole rounds in the 2021 Democratic primary. Nice. Good going, Paperboy Prince. Good going. If I knew what I knew now, I would have supported Catherine Garcia. I would support Catherine Garcia back then if I knew what I knew now, but I didn't. I foolishly chose Eric Adams later on. I wish I didn't, but, I didn't know. Nobody knew back then. Not enough people knew back then. I don't think people knew back then, I guess. Anyway, Eric Adams is running as an independent because he dropped out of the Democratic primary because he found that he was going to get his fucking ass kicked if he ran. Which he definitely would have, honestly. 51% of the vote in, Zohar Mamdani is still leading. Hell yeah. Alright. That's what I fucking like to see. Oh yeah, 100%. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yes. This is gonna take a while. I'm not gonna stream the whole thing out because it's gonna take a while. Let's look at the other things. Okay, Mark Levine. Okay. Julian Williams is like I said, he's at this point he's pretty much got it in the bag for public advocate. Yep. They've declared Alvin Bragg the winner for that. Someone just reacted to that. God. Okay, so anyway, yeah. Alvin Bragg, he was declared the winner. Okay, any more declared winners? Any more declared winners? Any more declared winners? What's that? Carmen De La Rosa, oh yeah, she's got it in the bag at this point. Let's be real. No other declared winners. Yep, they got it in the bag. No other declared winners, I guess. At least for now. Let's refresh. Let's take another look. No, I don't want to go back down. I'll go back up top. Thank you, Fox 5, for not hiding the shit behind a paywall. Thank you. 54% of the vote in, and Zohar Mamdani is still leading. This does not mean he'll win, because he's definitely not getting 50% of the vote in the first round. No way. But it is very good though. If he maintains this percentage or anything above 5%, he's pretty much got it in the bag. If he can maintain at least 5% ahead of Andrew Cuomo, he's got this. Okay, yep. So that's pretty much the only race that was called was Alvin Bragg winning the Manhattan District Attorney primary. Nothing else has been called yet. Surprised, like I said, I at this point I would pretty much call this election at this point. Let's be real. I mean look at this shit. It includes Washington Heights, Inwood, Marble Hill. Obviously, if you know the ethnic competition in Washington Heights, obviously these candidates make sense because Washington Heights is a very, very, very Hispanic area of New York City. Like I said, it shows that these races should really show the diversity, which is a good thing. And in this day and age, when the alt-right and the far-right are getting popularity by hating on people of different races and whatnot, it's good to show that that not everyone is going along with this shit. It's good. I like it. Anyway, so still nothing's been declared. What was that one election that where everyone was super close? Oh, but I want all three of the top candidates women or something. Fuck! What election? Oh, Carmen De La Rosa is now the winner. All right. Congratulations, Carmen De La Rosa, for winning the District 10 primary. Congratulations. Harvey Epstein's gonna win. His name sounds pretty fucked up, but at least he's not. But at least his name only sounds like a sex predator, and he's not an actual sex predator like fucking Anthony Weiner is. Thank you. Also, thanks for giving us a sexual predator to run the country, Anthony Weiner. But yeah. Where's that? Oh, this one's super close. Ooh, Phil Wan just took it. Just took the top. Holy fuck, he's only 7 votes ahead of Paul Pogorzelski. That election's gonna take a while to figure out. Oh, Crystal Hudson won for District 35. Congratulations, Crystal Hudson. Kayla Kayla Santos Suoso won for District 47. Congratulations. Frank Morano won District 51. Congratulations, Frank Morano, for District 51 GOP primary. Let's go back up to the top. Okay, nothing's changed for the. Nothing changed for that. Okay, let's check here. Okay. Anyway, on with the show. Alvin Bragg won. Okay, any other winners yet? I'd say Eric Botcher's pretty much got this at this point. Anjali Menon and Sean Abreu. Maybe not Sean Abreu is only 43%. He probably got it at this point, honestly. Anyway, Kevin Riley's probably got it at this point. This one's gonna be close. This is gonna take a while because any other winners so far? Lincoln Wrestler won. Crystal Hudson won. If I didn't say congratulations Lincoln Wrestler and Crystal Hudson for winning your primaries. District 33 and District 35 both in Brooklyn. I say congratulations to you already. Okay. Morano. Okay. Let's go back up. See if this updated. Okay, 62% of the vote in. Zora Mandani is still leading by about 8.4%. So, all right. Oh, and speaking of sex predators, as you can see here, obviously prosecution and defense have both rested their cases in the Diddy trial. Let's go to that real quick as a little bit of a distraction from what's going on for the New York election.
Major developments today in the federal sex trafficking trial against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Both the prosecution and defense have now rested their cases. Lisa Evers is live in Lower Manhattan with more on this bombshell day in court. Lisa.
Well, Natasha and Steve, a lot of developments here in court, fast-moving developments. Sean Diddy Combs stood up in the court and addressed the judge, saying that he would not be testifying on his own behalf. This comes as this afternoon, along with one of his defense attorneys, Tenny Garagos, his defense team, putting into action the plan that they hope will result in not guilty verdicts across the board. They finished the cross-examination of the last prosecution witness, an HSI special agent. Then the prosecution finished their case, a case that has taken nearly 2 months and almost 3 dozen witnesses. The defense case consisted of a legal challenge to every single one of the criminal counts Sean Diddy Combs is facing. The defense called no witnesses. Mid-afternoon, the judge said it was time for what they call the allocution, meaning to ask Mr. Combs if he intended to testify on his own behalf. Judge and told the court it was solely his decision not to testify, which was necessary in order to meet the legal requirement for that. Now, a schedule is emerging for the final days of this trial. There will be a charge conference tomorrow without the jury here in the courthouse, where the lawyers from both sides will discuss how the charges will be explained to the jury. Legal experts tell me that this is critical. Then on Thursday, opening statement may be the charge to the jury. Now, the lead prosecutor, Maureen Comey, says that she does not expect actual deliberations to begin until Monday. That's the latest from the federal courthouse here. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox.
The Diddy trial.
The New York City Mayoral.
I mean, realistically, even if he by some weird twist of whatever that he is found not guilty, his reputation is destroyed for life. All right, you've already probably heard the plethora of Diddy jokes out there that have come out after he got arrested, or, he got investigated and arrested and whatnot. His reputation is destroyed. His career is done. No one is gonna want to work with him, whether he's found guilty or not. Obviously found guilty and he goes to jail. No one can work with him even if they wanted to, which at this point no one probably wants to because they don't want to be associated with him. But yeah, I mean, I personally think he's guilty, but obviously we're gonna have to wait for the trial to conclude. I personally think he's gonna get found guilty on at least a few charges. No doubt, he's gonna be in jail for a while. The evidence against him is overwhelming, in my opinion. All right, so Mamdani is still leading by 8%. 70% of the vote is in. This is really good. Let's see if there's any more winners. Okay. Bragg, yep. Antonio Reynoso, congratulations for the Brooklyn Borough President. Okay, Fernando De La Rosa, we know about you. Oh, this one's a really close one. Yeah. David Aiken's probably not going to get it, so him winning it could decide election, but we're not going to know for sure. It honestly, Yana Enriquez and David Aiken could both get eliminated before we decide figure out who wins it among these two. Krishnan, yeah, they pretty much got it in the bag, honestly. Hudson, Chiase, how you pronounce your name? Congratulations for winning the District 36 primary. Alexa Aviles, congratulations for winning the District 38 primary. Shahana Hanif, congratulations for winning the District 39 primary. Okay, anything else? Okay. Vote in. I feel bad for Selma Bartolome, whoever that is, that they got less votes than all the write-ins combined. Granted, only by like 47, but still, I feel bad for you, Selma Bartolomeo. Paperboy Prince obviously is over here. Michael Blake, Jessica Ramos. If you ask me, I would have put Lander first, Mamdani second, Adrian Adams third, Zellner Mary fourth, and Scott Stringer fifth. That would have been my ranking if I lived in New York City and got to vote in this primary. And obviously, I would have kept Andrew Cuomo way the fuck away from my ballot. So, if everything goes right, it might be a four-way race between Mamdani, Cuomo, Adams, and Silva in November. Hopefully Mamdani gets it. Hopefully Mamdani gets it. All right. Oh, Juman Williams got it. Congratulations, Juman Williams. Yep, congratulations, Juman Williams, for winning your primary for the New York City Public Advocate. Any more winners? Any more winners I haven't gotten to yet? Oop, Kevin Riley, congratulations for winning the District 12 primary. Okay, I already called them. Congratulations, Camilla Hanks, for winning the District 49 Democratic primary in Staten Island. Alright, and back to the top. Alright. Mamdani is leading by 8.1% now. He gained 0.1% of the vote against Andrew Cuomo. So his lead expanded by 0.1%. Not by much, but still. It counts, I guess. It still counts, I guess. Okay, alright. So yeah, all that's going on. See how long we can stay up. We got a busy day tomorrow between work and the ambulance garage, but we'll make it work. Okay. Yep. Lead went down to 7.9%. It's just still good. Still good. If Mamdani can keep 43% of the vote and Brad Lander can keep like at least 40% of the vote and Brad Lander can keep at least 10%, he's pretty much got it. Because if Brad Lander and Mamdani have cross-endorse each other and openly said don't rank Cuomo, so like it'd be like 99% of people who voted for Brad Lander didn't rank Cuomo at all, and definitely did not rank him like second, third, or fourth at least. So like almost all of his votes are going to go to Mamdani, pretty much when he gets eliminated. See if anyone else has won. Okay, okay, and let's see if anyone else won. Oh, Eric Botcher has won District 3 primary. Congratulations, Eric Botcher, for the District 3 primary one. Okay, you already... You're not getting another congratulations. Neither are you. Benjamin Cho. Congratulations, Benjamin Cho, for winning the District 19 Democratic primary. Okay, already called you, called you. Well, congratulations, Mercedes Narcisse, for winning the District 46 primary. I think it's either Narcisse or Narcisse. Either way, congratulations for winning the District 46 Democratic primary. Congratulations. Alright, called you. Okay, back to the top. Alright, 77% in, and Mom Donnie's lead expanded again to 8.2%. This is looking to be a very, very, very good night for Mamdani, and a very disappointing night for Cuomo, who was probably expecting to either lead outright in round one, or at least have a small lead against Mamdani. All right. Mark Levine or Levine, still leading in the Comptroller Democratic primary. Peter Kefalis is still leading. He's probably got this at this point. Let's see what else has won. Okay, so no other updates so far. Okay. All right. I'm glad that Mamdani is leading. This is a really good night, and you know, it's giving me some hope after the disappointment that was, the 2024 election. Obviously, it's giving me some hope. Start of that night in good spirits, and end of the night in not good spirits. That's all I'm gonna say. and then I went to a fatal truck accident. Went to a fatal truck accident after that night when I realized that Trump was gonna win. That just really brightened my mood after hearing that Trump was going to go back in the White House. Hey, you're gonna Trump back in the White House? How about this? You're going to go to a car accident where a tractor trailer driver got his fucking head crushed. Yeah. Trump is officially president afficially Yeah, that was not a good night. That was not a good night for me at all. But anyway, let's go. Getting back to the news, Mamdani's leading with 8.1% of the vote. Because, like I said, if Lander and Mamdani can keep these percentages or something close to it, Cuomo's done. Cuomo is 100% done if Adams, Lander, and Mamdani keep these percentages. Because most of Adams is going to Mamdani, almost all of Lander is going to go to Mamdani. And Cuomo's not going to get a lot of people from most of these other candidates, honestly, because most of them probably support Mamdani, Lander, or Adams. So, like, if this keeps up, I really don't see a path forward for Cuomo, honestly. I really don't. Which would be good, because I don't want him to win the Democratic primary. I want Mamdani to win. Okay, let's go back down the list, see if there's been any updates. Go get it, Harvey Epstein. Go get him, Harvey Epstein. I hope you win. It's pretty cool, though. Like, in all seriousness, it is pretty cool how you support Rain and help raise money for them. That is pretty cool, actually. I like that. In all seriousness, no bullshit, no jokes. This one's pretty cool. Close. Five candidates, 4 of whom I believe are women, and top 3 is silver. Oh, this was the one that was super close. Or like talked about earlier. That was super close. I forgot about. Anyway, this is pretty close. I think Maloney was up top the first time. I'm not sure. Is either Maloney or Aronson who was on top? Either way, it's still extremely close between all 3 of them. We'll probably have to eliminate at least 2 of these candidates, if not 3 of them, before we even find a result as to which one of these candidates won the District 4 primary. Oh, congratulations, Julia Menine for winning the District 5 primary. Okay. Congratulations to Eric Dinowitz for winning the District 11 primary in the Bronx. All right, let's see what else has won. Okay. Congratulations to Shakar Krishnan for winning the District 25 primary in Queens. You already won. Alright. And Brad Lander actually gained 0.1% as well, like I said. Andrea Adams still at 4.1%. I said, with these three this high, I don't see a path forward for Cuomo, honestly. I really don't. Let's go down the list again. I don't know if I said that or not earlier. Anyway, okay. Take a look here. You already won. All right, called you. Okay. All right, let's take a look. You already won. Okay, so no further updates at this point. No big updates. I don't want to go to that tab. Okay, let's see what we got here, actually. I was watching some J.J. McCullough earlier about weird countries of the Victorian era, which is a pretty cool video. Okay, let's go back here. Let's keep watching this for now. Let's see what we got. Like that one article I read earlier said, we're not going to know the results probably until about July 1st. Probably. Unless something unusual happens, we know the results in a few days earlier. But most likely we're not gonna know until July 1st, probably. But yeah, let's take another look on the list. Oh, Sean Abreu. Congratulations, Sean Abreu, or Abreu. I don't know what I don't know pronounce your name, but congratulations, Sean, for winning the District 7 primary in Manhattan. All right, congratulations. Look, some of these names. I'm sorry, for some of these names, I'm not even gonna pretend that my pronunciation is any good for some of these names, honestly, because I know my pronunciation fucking sucks with some of these names. I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize in advance for fucking up some of these names. I'm sorry. Just going to say that out loud. Okay. Yep, let's go back to the top. 82% in. I'm nice. Still hold on 8% against Andrew Cuomo. Alright, which is good. Good. Like I said, I hope Mamdani gets it. I really hope Mamdani gets it, honestly. Alright. Check that real quick. Okay, I've been streaming for an hour and a half now. Nice. Yep, it's been an hour and a half since episode 10 began. I don't know how much longer. I'm not going to continue much longer because, like certain things trying to settle in more. Because Mamdani's definitely in this for the long run. No doubt about it. Whether he wins or loses, he's in for the long run, honestly. But yeah, it's been a good episode, honestly. You know, reading these results live has been pretty good. Okay, so we got here. Okay, 84% of the votes in. Mamdani's leading by 7.8%. It's a little bit below 8%, but still pretty good margin. So pretty good margin. 84% of the vote in. All right. Roughly 8% against. 8% over. take that. Some stuff in the Love Live radio server. Okay, that's cool. All right. Let's take another look here. Alright, let's take a look at the results. Yeah, my one friend said to me that heat's killing her, and they're like, yeah, heat's killing me too. My other friend says, like, I'm feeling something dangerous. Hope. Still anticipating for to get before, honestly. Anyway, let's check this out, okay? Okay. No. Looks like there's been no changes. No changes. Yeah, there's been no changes so far in terms of who's won and who is still, yeah. Okay. Alright. Huh. Oh, my one friend can see borough by borough results. So Cuomo was supposed to get like over 50% in Staten Island, and yeah, he's only got 46.5%. 95% of the votes counted in Staten Island. Mamdani's got 37.4%, which is actually a huge overperformance for Mamdani. He wasn't polling that good in Staten Island at all. That's cool. Yeah, he's actually overperforming in Staten Island, which is a good sign. Which is a really, really good sign. Okay, so right now Mamdani's leading by 7.5%, 86% of the vote in. Like I said, if Mamdani and Lander can maintain, and Adams can maintain, and Adrian Adams, not Eric Adams, fuck Eric Adams, but if Mamdani, Lander, and Adams can maintain their percentages, there is no, I don't see a path forward for Cuomo. Honestly, I really don't. I'm just gonna text that to my friend. Fuck Eric. Not my one friend Eric. My one friend Eric is pretty cool. I play Faz with him and his boyfriend a lot. I've known them since high school. They're both pretty cool. Oh, fuck Eric Adams, not my other friend Eric. But yeah, fuck Eric. Eric Adams. If they maintain their percentages, I don't see a path forward for Cuomo. Just sharing to the other servers I'm in. Okay. And to think he started out small, and now he's this close to potentially winning the Democratic primary. Given how New York City is, a win under Cuomo. See if anyone else is doing has won their elections. Already called. Congrats to all of you. Okay. Althea Stevens, she's probably got it in the bag at this point. She's probably going to be the next to get called. Okay, so no further candidates have won their elections yet. 80%, maintaining 7.5% above Cuomo. Pretty good. Okay. I'm texting my other friend about Brad Landers and Brad Lander and whatnot. See, that's it. Ranked choice voting makes this shit fun. It does. It really makes it a lot more fun. We really should adopt it. Plus, mixed member PR from Germany and whatnot. I'd use both, honestly. I use the party list for party lists across each state, and I'd use ranked choice voting for the vote for the single member districts, because obviously Germany has both of those. You have an equal number of districts and party lists. Germany, unfortunately, they use first past the post in that case, which I disagree with, but it could be improved if it was ranked choice for that. But you vote for your district candidate who who represents your district directly, and you vote for the party. And how they determine that is they take all the votes in your state within Germany, because Germany has 16 states, because they're also federal like the U.S. They take all the votes in your state, and they assign seats, they assign statewide seats based on percentage of who voted for what party, essentially. So let's say you have 10 seats assigned to your state for the statewide party list, and let's say the SPD won 60% of the vote in your state. This SPD would get 6 of those statewide party list seats. That's how our system works, and I think we should do that in the U.S. too. Probably not super controversial. If you listen to this podcast, this live stream, but it's probably controversial to some idiots, but whatever. Probably not a controversial take amongst these people. Okay, going back to the results. Okay, 7.4% above Cuomo, so it's shrinking a little bit. 87% of the vote in. Yeah, I don't see Cuomo taking the lead in the first round, honestly. I really don't. Okay. Let's see what else has won. Peter Kefalis has probably won this race. Okay. Any other winners? Wow, Christopher Marte or whatever their name is. He is right at 50%. Exactly at 50%. Any other winners? Okay. That was called earlier. Okay. Oh, no other winners have been declared yet. Okay, back to the top. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I'd say Andrew Cuomo's probably fucked. I say probably, not definitely, but Cuomo is probably fucked. I think a quick picture real quick. I said duck instead of fucked, and someone put a fucking duck emoji. So yeah, at this point, I'd say Mamdani's going to win the primary, and Cuomo is probably going to run as an independent at this point. which could cause some issues. All right, it's gonna cause some issues. I get it. It's gonna be a fucking 4-way race. So, yeah, definitely a little concerned. Hopefully, Mamdani pulls through amongst the 4-way race. Hopefully. But yeah, it's been almost an hour and 45 minutes since I started the stream, and I'm just gonna stop at this point now. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Lacedaemon's Corner. I'm Lacedaemon. Once again, stay tuned for next time, and have a wonderful day, and stay cool in this fucking weather. Holy fucking shit. And good luck to Mamdani. Good luck to all